Hey, how's it going? This is Gray over at Wakizashi's Teahouse. I think I'm live. I think I'm good. How are you doing? Are you good? Are you Genki? I am. I'm pretty hammered. I've got to say that right now from the start. I am pretty hammered. I've been out with a friend from the UK. He is a jiu-jitsu sensei, a jiu-jitsu master. And yeah, we trained this morning. It was amazing. It was so good. It's the first time I trained in maybe a year and a half. I kind of lost my confidence. I lost my raison d'etre, whatever you call it, and I've not been training there. But yeah, train with him. It was good. Right now, I am feeling incredible pain. You wouldn't believe it. So that's why I'm drunk. The excuse is the alcohol is a painkiller. So here we are. This stream is live. It's drunk. It's crazy. It's not going to make any sense. But what's the word? I will probably make this. I'll unlist it when it's finished. Yeah, because I'm not making any sense. But I want to bring a friend in. I want to bring someone in like who is he's always had my back. He's a great comic book fan and reader and reviewer. Here we go. Let me just send the link. Eric O'Sullivan. And mate, there's no pressure to join. There's no worries about it if you want to or not. But I think I need someone to to counteract my slurring and whatever. So the link is on the way to you. So there we go. Let's have a look how we're doing. Let me get back to StreamYard. We have Eric O'Sullivan saying, if it's in you, it's got to come out. There you go. To me, that makes sense. And earlier on, we had Doc Vader was here. Doc Vader, yo! How you doing, mate? If you're still here, great to see you, mate. Long time no see. I hope you're good. I hope you're Genki. Yeah. Eric needs a minute. That's fair enough. That's no problem. So, yes. The reason for this drunken live stream, like last minute idea, is Mrs. Wakizashi is out. She's gone down the road. She's having a house party with some friends. So I'm free. I'm on my own. But it is late at night. For me, it's 10:14 p.m. Well, not so late, but, pretty late. I was out with a good friend, as I say, a jiu-jitsu sensei, a teacher from the UK who's over here. And he is, man, I tell you what, I reckon he could drink anybody out there under the table. It's crazy. He really could. So I've been trying to keep up with him since, what time was it? Do you ever get those days where you go out early? Okay, let's go for some afternoon drinking. So I went out at 4:30. I got there 5 p.m. Started drinking with him. The thing is, it's slow pace. It's slow pace, so it's okay. Maybe, you can forgive that. Had some good food. We had some great sushi. For a Japanese izakaya, which is basically a Japanese pub, they've got some good food. Yeah, sure, a lot of it's fried. It's very salty. It's oily, but I was so surprised by the sushi. It was amazing. Really, really good. And that was his recommendation. So, yeah, fair play to him. I'm not going to name names, but yeah. So, sushi, fried food, beer. That is a combination, yeah? You're okay. The question is, how many beers did we have? Now, next to me, I've got the bill because we paid up before I left. I went back early. He's still there. He's still going for it. But the number of beers on the menu was, on the bill even, 27. 27 beers. Okay. Now, to be fair, that was between two, and then later on a third friend came and joined us, so it became 3, but the third friend was only there for a couple of hours, so do you count that? But yeah, 27 beers. Fuck, that is the state I'm in right now. So without further ado, let me bring in a friend to hopefully save my insanity, my drunken state from this live stream. Let's bring in Eric O'Sullivan, the soul in the soup, the original, the best, most positive comic book reviewer on YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, often reproduced, never, ever duplicated. We have here your fake Britishman and your real Britishman, but can you tell the difference? I don't know.
One of the reasons I love Eric is because his English accent is, to be fair, pretty awesome.
I
Come
think.
on. Eric, how are you
Oh,
doing? I'm sorry, mate. I'm saying I'm off camera because I'm in me pajamas, so
your Jim Jams.
I'm too afraid to go on camera. Do you know what I mean?
You're shy. Don't worry. It's my first time. I'll be gentle on you. Well, where's my Pikachu? Get over
Listen,
here.
mate. Seriously, thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. I saw your.
What has been going on with comics this week? I want to get your thoughts. I want to get your thoughts most of all on Peach Momoko's Ultimate X-Men issue 1. Come on, bring it.
Love it. Okay, I am very satisfied because my local comic book shop got me the 1 in 10 variant cover with the.
Oh my god!
Peach
Are you
Momoko.
serious?
Yeah, they had a copy. I asked. I was like, what happened was I started a pull list a couple of weeks ago, and they wrote it. Shit happens. So it's like instead of writing down Ultimate X-Men, they wrote down Ultimate Black Panther, which I did.
Really?
So when I go to the comic book shop on Wednesday, I'm like, they're already sold out of X-Men 1, Ultimate X-Men 1. And I'm like, oh no, you don't have my copy. And they're like, don't worry, we'll fix this. And so yeah, sent them an email and was like, yeah, just like, can you correct that on the pull list? And by the way, if I said 2 things. Well, I'm not interested in any Mark Brooks covers. It's just a personal pickiness. Thank you. And
Eric, I heard a rumor he charges $5,000 for his covers, but that's just a rumor.
Good for him. He's a grown man. He's a professional. He gets a lot of money for what he does. Now, and he's very hireable with that segment of the industry. He's our age, so this is the time to be making that kind of mint,
Yeah, fair play. If you can make your money that way, go for it. What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, I'm Team Ethan Van Sciver, though, so we hate each other.
Yes.
I remember
the man you love to hate to love.
He's just my brand. I know. And I saw Mark Brooks last year at Wicked Comic Con here in Boston. And I was joking with Billy Tucci because Billy Tucci was literally on the opposite side of the auditorium. And I was like, Bill, is this on purpose? And he was like, no, it's not, but it's funny.
My God. You met Billy Tucci. I'm so jealous. That is awesome, Eric.
And Debbie, his wife, dude. Like they're a pair. They go everywhere together. It's
okay.
They're salt and pepper, frickin' frack. Cookies and cream. What a great pair. And they have beautiful children. What a success story. What a testament to the powers of independent publishing.
Yes.
Having your own brand and your own character and your own vision and being a publisher. That's some of the shit that we don't really, we kind of gloss over as comic book fans. And I feel that because they're publishing, it's publishing, it's periodical publishing. They have bindings, they have cover, they have trade dress, they have indicia. They have.
That is not an easy job to do. That takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, and a lot of money, doesn't it? A lot of money to do that.
I went to a trade school in high school, and I was really indecisive. My first year, our second year, you have to pick your trade.
Okay.
And I picked the graphic arts, how to formatting publications, books.
Yeah.
Offset printing. Typeface. Leading, M's, justification, columns, non-photo blue pencils, light tables, little pieces of tape, and how you put together and compose a magazine page.
Yeah, sure.
Shit like that. And I didn't stick with it. I kind of failed out of it, and I ended up in wood shop, which was pretty fun, on itself. Wood shop was more for me. And but I had a whole year immersed in that whole thing like of print publication. And so we as comic book fans, we tend to, I think we've lost complete sight over that. It's all about the characters, it's all about the creators, it's all about the messaging versus it's woke versus anti-woke, or the bullshit culture war. What we tend to forget about it, that it's the publishing industry. It's about magazine publication, periodical print periodicals. The whole print periodical paradigm is changing and has changed. It's already changed. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But but you have a completely different perspective because, print periodicals are still a huge part of Japanese culture, and especially commuter culture. You know.
They are. That's what's so good over here. Like, believe it or not, with like the digital version, the Shonen Jump, the paper version of that every week, it sells so well. I don't know numbers, but I'm sure it must be doing well because it's still going. So, how good is that, Eric? You're talking like 20 stories in one period. Weekly periodical, 20 stories of like 400 pages. It's unbelievable.
I got a copy of Shonen Jump a couple of years ago, like a new copy. Like it had and so it's like for anyone out there in the audience that doesn't know, Shonen Jump is a weekly boys brand. You know what I mean? That's the boys' stories, and it's focused at young people to the aging fan group too. And it keeps them in mind. But it's almost phone book sized in thickness.
It is. It's crazy.
It's printed usually on recycled refuse paper. Too.
Yes, it's very pulpy, recycled paper. It's like basic, very, very basic colors, like one color, yellows or oranges, greens, reds. That's it.
Yeah, and they're usually in black and white. The premier ones have color. Advertisements are in glossier, glossy stock paper, stuff like that. That's where they put the real money into it, was in the advertisements. and that's like the whole point of a periodical is about advertisement, and it's the content is one thing. It's a vessel to sell ad space in a way. So again, we get caught up with their stories, with the characters, with our continuity, with what's going on, and we really kind of just like ignore the business aspect of it.
We do.
It's like. So, say, what's going on with the X-Men these days? I mean, oh gosh, like Jordan White and now Tom Brevoort and Harumph. Well, these are all reflections of 30 years of politically correct academic culture, now embedded and ingrained in Ivy League human resource business school mentalities.
Come on, Eric, you said the magic word to me. You just said X-Men. Come on, the big news is Peach Momoko's Ultimate X-Men issue 1 came out. Now, for me, maybe I'm biased because I've got a big thing of interest in Japanese culture. I love Japan, the whole thing. Yeah, maybe I'm biased, but I enjoyed issue 1. But how would you approach that as an X-Men fan? What do you reckon?
Oh, I like it so far because I'm intrigued by Peach Momoko's work.
Me too.
I like her style, and I like the attempt. Let's look at periodical publication industry, and as a collection as well, not just the serialized format. But Ultimate X-Men might be a really good attempt at trying to bridge the market and trying to get some of that manga slice of the pie. I mean, if Marvel could publish this in a Takabon format, you know what I mean? Do
you reckon is that a big part of it? Is that a big part of the launch, like trying to get this a little bit of a mix of the manga audience and the American comic audience as well?
I think that I believe that. That's my interpretation. Okay. That's my feelings. That it's here you have this really stellar up and coming artist from Japan. It has a unique vision, often quirky, good with horror. And I love to interpret her stuff. I like to sit and look at it and unpack it. It's really art. And it's a miss with some of the boy fans. It really,
of course, it is.
And it's fine. I mean,
especially like traditional X-Men fans, they're going to say like, what is this? There's no X-Men here. What are you doing?
Right. Well, it's in issue 1 of an arc story. It's written for the trade in the first place. But I mean, overall, I love the pacing of this issue because Peach Momoko, she wrote it and she drew it. Did she color it herself?
Yeah, she did it. Yeah, it's all her apart from the letters. That's it. Yeah.
It's wonderful when you have a unitive vision like that and you can just execute it. And I like the panel progression. I call it camera work. If you look at John Romita Jr.'s style when he's like breaking down panels and presenting it, he's talking about like making a movie. And
that's right.
And it's the same thing with Momoko, I believe. She's got great panels. Like What's Armor's real name? Hideko. What's
Oh God, I've forgotten top of my
Armor?
head there. Yeah, yeah,
She's
but
like, look, she's on the bike and she looks behind her, and it's just there's just like the panel progressions. It's great camera work, and
I've heard like criticism like it's too cute. It's like it's geared for girls. You know, it's like a girl shonen jump version, whatever, a girl manga. But I think, as you were saying, like the way that she's drawn the panels, the progression, it's very very well done. You know,
yes.
it tells a story without you. You can jump in. You can read this issue without having any background, and I think you can get what's going on.
It's creepy. It's not for kids. I'll say that much.
It is not for kids.
No.
It goes dark.
It goes wicked dark, wicked early.
It does.
Yeah, and it's gosh, I thought they were bringing up the self-deletion forests.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I
it.
mean?
Things you can't name these days, without getting in trouble. Yeah, but in Japan, it is a big problem, Eric. It's a big problem right now.
And I think it's I'm looking forward to seeing Maystorm and getting to know this new character, who she shares a power set with Aurora or something, and but like there are it tends X-Men right now in this new Brever age, it looks like off the bat that it's too female forward, though. There is a point to it where it is like you want to try shenanigans.
Yeah,
you have Gail Simone on X-Men. With a Kitty Pryde-led team, you're gonna have a Rogue-led team. You're gonna, like, still, like, the X-Men are, well, they've been appropriated. They've been culturally appropriated by the left.
Okay, take it back to basics, Eric. Like, the Ultimate line. We've had Ultimate Spider-Man, which is basically Spider-Man, but like a little bit older version. We've got Ultimate Black Panther, which is a really basic, back to ground, grounded version of Black Panther. But people are complaining like Ultimate X-Men is like, what? What is this? I want to see the X-Men. Why are there no X-Men here? So how do you counter that? What do you say to that?
It's in issue 1. We're just it's this opening of the story. It's literally the first half of Act 1. If this is going 3 issues, like that's it. This is Act 1. If this is going 6 issues, it's half of Act 1 in our 3-act structure, which we usually follow here. I know it's only been solicited for 3 issues. So, because
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, people out there in TV land, Gray and I use LeagueOfComicGeeks.com to preview our comic pages for our shows. And if you scroll down to the end of the issue page, if you also drop minus out and get it smaller, it'll show all the solicits that are listed, down on the bottom of the page. Yeah.
Okay. So far there are only 3. Yeah, 3 issues, Correct. 3 covers. Okay.
And so that might be the first arc itself.
I've heard people say like maybe she's just got like a 10-issue run. Maybe she's like done that and planned that to go for 10, and then maybe someone else will take it on from there.
Maybe. I mean, exactly. I mean, it's kind of like what Daniel Warren Johnson's doing over on Transformers.
Yes.
It's like you have an auteur kind of vision. You have the writer-artist, and especially if they're inking their own work, and especially if they're coloring their own work too. And that's time-consuming. So,
and Eric, how good is that right now? Isn't it? It's fantastic. I think that right now is one of the best original comic book runs we've got out there.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to. Oh, hey, Tom.
Hey, Tom, how you doing? Great to see you. Thanks for jumping in.
I've been neglecting the
No, don't worry about it. Yeah, it's just been me and you until now. So, Tom, good to see you. We're talking like Peach Momoko's Ultimate X-Men. What do you reckon about it, mate? Just do drop a comment.
I do want to interject that I looked it up, and the circulation of Shonen Jump in December of 2021 was 1,390,000 copies.
And that's for the paper. That's for the physical copy.
Yeah, the bi-weekly.
Isn't it? That is amazing.
Weekly Shonen Jump. Yeah. Its first issue was in August 1st of 1968. Owned by Shueisha, right? And
so, Eric, even with the great advances with digital technology you've got. You can get Shonen Jump digital easily.
Right.
The paper still sells in Japan. It still sells.
Yes.
Why do you think that is? Why is it still popular here to get the physical copies?
Maybe it's the commuter culture. You have a better rail system than we do. It's probably like compared to the rail system of Britain. What do you think about compared to, because Britain and in Japan, like, here in America, we have a woefully underserved and rail system. I mean, it could be better. It could be.
It's the same, mate. It's the same UK. It used to be very good, but I'm talking many, many years ago. I have a friend over right now who's just been talking about it. Britain get charged so much money for rail, for using the trains. It's insane. So he's here now in Japan. He's comparing it. He's like, wait a minute. Why does Japan have so much cheaper fares and they run on time? What is going on? The UK is getting ripped off, Eric. I don't know about America.
Yeah, well, exactly. And running on time. What does that mean?
Right?
I know.
That used to be a standard, in the UK.
Right. I think, but paper copy, it's familiar. It's tactile.
Yeah. It's tactile.
It's like you also have a different culture of like it's disposable, and you. Can
it's disposable. It's very cheap as well. It's 290 yen. It's like it's not even a $2. It's like $1.50
for like
that's what it costs for a physical copy. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, and it's just, and they're all serialized parts of your story. And these this is the comic book. This is like, so when our friend Doc over at Thinking Critical's Comics Aficionados, he swears up and down that manga ain't comics, manga ain't comic books, but Shonen Jump is the comic book. That's the serialized.
It's the Japanese version.
Yeah, that's the comic book, and the tankobon manga that we confused with that's the trade paperback.
Yeah.
But so
Eric, me and you, like, we grew up like we love American comics. We grew up like reading that, and I'd love it too. Do you think like the a version of Shonen Jump would that work in America? Where you've got like what's the word, like say 20 different stories, like 6 to 8 pages, no, even more, like say 10 pages each of a story every month. No, sorry, every week. It's weekly, isn't it? Would that work over there?
It's weird. I don't think so. Not now. Not in the 21st century. I mean,
not right now. No.
When we were kids, maybe they had.
Yeah.
Because you can get. I remember seeing digest format sized comics at the cash register. Well,
that's what we used to get in the UK.
Right, and there you would find Archie comics there.
Yes.
And there would be like oh my, can I get a comic book? And. That's a good, I think that's as close as you get, but not so much these days. I know American parents are appreciative of the Shonen Jump app, such as like one of my best friends, his boy just turned 14, but years ago, he was like, yeah, it's $2.99 a month for like, unlimited access to all these titles, and he just reads nothing but manga anyway. So this Shonen Jump app. It's so affordable, and I'm so grateful for it. And I'm having this great conversation with Aaron, and he's just like, yeah, I don't even, I just know he just gets lost in it for days, just.
Eric, what's crazy? It is amazing. The Shonen Jump app, the digital app in Japan, it's like, it's about $10. In America, it's about $2. Is it $2 or $3?
It's something. The subscriber, it might be up to $4 a month now.
So it's cheaper to do it in America than it is in Japan, which doesn't make any sense to me. That's crazy. But to be fair, like Shonen Jump, they are like taking advantage of the digital method. They are going for it. Like they know that's the way it works. But even with that, the paper still sells. I just can't work that out. I think that is so cool. I'm very happy about it, but I wonder why that is.
It's it's part of it. I think it's like the industry has to perpetuate itself to stay open. We want to keep our jobs, and the paper industry knows that it's a finite resource.
Yeah,
that it's getting pricier. They might have priced themselves out. Like our friend Mark Miller was talking about making Nightclub on a podcast once. I caught this, and he was like, yeah, it's like when we're making Nightclub for $1.99, and the price
he's taking a loss. He took a loss on that.
He said the price of paper jumped from 17 cents a floppy to 72 cents a floppy.
Oh, seriously? No
That's what
way.
while producing Nightclub. And he's like,
Right.
of course he didn't. Yeah, he'll make more in in the trades, and because it was like free advertisement for everything else too. And
Yeah.
but like, just that, how are these publishers supposed to keep their jobs and keep making money?
I
With
know.
these inflated, goods, these inflated costs, the production costs. Hello, Tevye Smoker.
Yeah, let's shout out. We got Tevye here. Great to see you, Tevye. He's a stalwart of the comic book even industry, or comic book fans. Great to see you, Tevye. You didn't miss anything. We're just talking about digital and physical. Also, we have Adega Outlaw. Great to see you, mate. I appreciate it. And Tom O'Handley, thank you so much for that super. That is unbelievable. That's the first super chat I've had in a long, long time. I really appreciate it. So for that, let me drop a clip. Eric, what should we go for? Should we go for a dark Batman clip? Here we go.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally?
Darkness will not win, Eric, because me and you are here to bring the positivity. We are countering the darkness, aren't we, in comics? Come on.
I brought a torch. I got a torch.
I love it when you go English. I wish I could do American like you can do English. I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
I grew up on just lots of British TV, Monty Python, Young Ones, oh man, I am old.
Respect to Tevye. Me too, mate. Akira Toriyama is gone. I'm sad about that. Yeah, fair enough. Me too. Wow, what a legacy he leaves behind. Come on.
We all must walk into the ocean one day. We do. And he left behind a beautiful family.
Yes.
And he made himself who he is today. He changed styles early. I mean, like most Americans have never read was it Dr. Slump or Mr. Slump? Is it?
I don't know. Sorry, I don't know the names. Yeah,
I'm barely knowledgeable about it, and he just went for that. He had this cutesy thing going on early Dragon Ball.
That's right.
And then he kind of changed gears. Halfway through, Dragon Ball was a manga that went 42 volumes, and it was continually published through Shonen Jump. For week after week after week for decades.
Yeah.
Since 1986. I think that's when the first Dragon Ball premiered. And I love
Eric, now I've got you here. Can I get your thoughts on this? And this is maybe a little bit, you don't have to answer, but can I ask you about what do you think about the Japanese, not just manga, anime, it's in all things, but the kind of, we would say maybe a little bit seedy, sexual angle to the manga.
The presumption of lewdness, I guess?
A little bit of lewdness, yeah. To me, I don't mind it. Of course, I love it. I'm a dirty old man, Eric.
Yeah.
I'm old. I love to see a little bit of this and a bit of TNA and all that. But some people these days get offended by that. I don't know. What do you reckon?
I think there's a cultural lens here that I just there is a culture. It's like
great point. Right from the start, that's a great point.
It's like saying something about Italian women or something. You know what I mean? If I'm not trying to even be lewd or
the cultural lens is very important.
It's like like she's too vampy or too sexy. It was like, what do you expect? That's an Italian woman from Italy.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean? Something like that. It said something there, or there's a cultural lens here that I just think it just. When I was a kid, when we were young, Gray and I are the same age. So we have lived across the pond, but culturally, he's like my other brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. But it's like anime taught me that it transcended cartoon. Here in America, we associate cartoons, animated styles, animated features with children's fare. And
yes, same in the UK, same thing.
In Japan, it's different. Japan was it's a medium for storytelling, and so there was the part of the appeal was there are adult there's adult content out there that's animated, and it's so hyper detailed and so well drawn
Yeah.
that it's going to blow your mind. And it runs a spectrum too. It goes from something such as super dimensional Macross, and they're they have mechas and cute girls, all the way to something such as like the hentai and the Legend of the Overfiend, which
Yeah.
is,
Oh my God.
I watched it all. Seriously.
Eric, that blew my mind when I was young. Yeah, when I first got
Yeah.
that video, it was recommended to me from Starburst magazine, which is basically the British version of Starlog, the American magazine. Yeah, Starlog. I saw a British version of it. I didn't know at the time it was completely cut to death.
Right.
Since then, I actually saw a French version. The French version showed the original cut. I was, oh my God. It was so different. I'm like, holy shit! This is amazing. But
And the second one's even worse, I think.
Really?
Oh gosh, they have this something called the Nazi Death Grape Machine,
Jesus.
where there are several female victims lashed to the top of the machine, which drains them of their vital energies as they're being robotically plunked to death. And it's this is the stuff that people are like, holy this is effed up stuff. And how is this getting into the hands of kids? Because
I know a lot of people don't even know about this these days because you can't get hold of it, you can't get a copy. But that was back in the 80s. These days it's kind of been cleaned up a little bit, hasn't it? It's not as like risque, would you say, as it used to be?
Well, it's also I think it's because like my friend Ethan Van Sciver, he's like, oh, I hate anime because it looks all childish. It's like you're all
really. He said that.
He's kind of like, it's like
very dismissive.
Like it was too, because it was a blanket statement. It was about the Came in America stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And our friend Carrie, Nerdy Girl Creates, got really pissed off at him, and kind of like walked away. And after like backing Cyberfrog and shit like that for stuff, this is how.
Yeah, but he does like to kind of be the devil's advocate. That's kind of his role. He loves to stir things up. And respect to him.
But he's nailing like the aesthetic parts of it. The
yes,
quintessential anime girl, cutesy, big eyes, just cute. That runs a spectrum.
That's it, and that is part of the Japanese culture. And like,
right.
should that be cancelled in the West? Should it?
Right, because and they must be like when it comes to Asian and women. I mean, there's like there is spectrum and there is variety, but it's but it's very like it's just like, hey, like, we have nothing but Italian women here in Italy, and we have nothing but Japanese women here in Japan, and so it's like this is very. I've always seen like there's the big breasts and like the big eyes and the big hair and like the outrageous hair colors and things. So like there's always been, and they've always been drawn very, very nicely and to appeal to the male eye as well.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. I mean, my first anime crush had to have been Nova from Star Blazers.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's cool, man.
Or Princess from Battle of the Planets. Gotcha, man.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Battle
of the Planets. Yeah, me too. Yeah. I had that crush.
Exactly. I mean, and but they are drawn pretty cute. They really are. They're very artistic. The style is very different than something such as Scooby-Doo, which was its contemporary back then. You had Velma and Daphne. Sure, but they weren't drawn to have any appeal. So I can see like the conflation of that as being like, oh, all this stuff is gateway to grooming in a way, or brooming, and it's
oh my goodness, really
something like that. I mean, you got Whoopa Troopa out there. We've got
is Whoopa here? No way.
Whoopa Troopa's here.
I'm just being like trying to share your channel, but people who are here, they know who you are. Please subscribe to Eric O'Sullivan. Come on, he's here. He is the positivity representation on YouTube.
We have
even more than me. It's unbelievable.
We have our moments. I mean, I got into a decent rant last week about X-Men. I do. Let's bring it back to X-Men real quick.
Okay. Yeah. Go for it, mate. Go for it.
Because Western the Group will be talking about this issue today on their show, coming up in an hour and a half over at Comics Aficionados. They're going to be talking about Jerry Duggan and Phil Notto's X-Men number 32 that came out this week. And I have my own problems with that issue. And it's all about the art because it's the most flat-looking Phil Noto art I've seen ever. I like Phil
Really?
Noto.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, I like Phil Noto's art. I think he's very photorealistic. He draws great. He draws beautiful women. Not here, but he's always struggled with action scenes, with his pacing, with his panel progressions, with like follow through or foot and face or something. You know,
Yeah.
there's something about. It's always landed a little flat with his art for me when it comes to action scenes. So this one is all action and all talk, and it's. It was. I had the biggest problem was with when I read on its blurb. It's all these comics are solicited 3 months in advance, and they all have a little informational blurb that describes the story to vendors who want to purchase this for their shelves and to describe, yada yada. And so it's using words like watch as Kitty and Ilyana, watch as Kate and Ilyana, smash anti-mutant fascists. And I'm like, enough. I hit the wall, and I'm like, enough with your, that kind of, only one side of the aisle uses words like fascist and bigot and phobe. And it's just, get this shit out of my escapism.
I tell you what, Eric, when I hear these words these days, I just switch off. I just walk away.
Oh man!
Those people use those words. I'm like, I'm sorry. I know maybe it's like what's the word? A bit of an overreaction, but I just walk away because to me, you've already lost the argument by dropping those words.
Yeah.
Tell me tell me your argument. I want to hear what you've got. Whatever. That's great, but it's so dismissive, and that really annoys me.
Yes, that's a really good way to put it too. Hey, I actually got a good story for you.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, I want to hear it.
I like the writer Kelly Thompson. She's currently doing Birds of Prey on DC Comics. I completely missed her Marvel stuff. I wasn't there for her changing.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, I wasn't there for like making Betsy Braddock Captain Britain and all that shit. So I'm aloof of that. But I am liking Birds of Prey enough. And
really?
Yeah, I am. And I kind of liked the Jeff verse, the Land Shark, the cutesy Marvel stuff. That was it. It was fun.
That was at least it was funny. It was entertaining at least. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know what you mean.
It was comic-y. You know what I mean? It was for fun. And so I noticed that I'm a huge G.I. Joe fan, loving the Skybound Energon universe.
Oh my God, Eric, how good is that right now? It's so good. It's on fire.
Mm-hmm. We got solicits for 2 more minis. Destro by Dan Waters and Scarlet by Kelly Thompson. So I'm excited. I'm going to get them both. And then I click on, and Kelly Thompson has me blocked on Twitter now.
But that's not you. That's a fucking chain block thing.
Well, what I did was I'm not going to take it. And I did this in the kindest, nicest way. I have a backup account. It's called Plaid Palpatine. It's a Star Wars parody satire account. And so I sent her a tweet saying, "Excuse me, dear Miss Thompson. I mean, like, I'm literally flummoxed on why you would block me. And how am I supposed to buy Scarlet now?" She unblocked me.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And that's
good for her.
I feel good because I am not going to give money to someone who hates me. And I'm not going to buy anything from someone who's blocked me on social media. I think it's, especially using block lists, I think that's so cruel and impersonal. It's like, I didn't deserve this. And for what, adjacency? Because I follow Ethan? I like the wrong tweet? I'm literally not going to buy your stuff anymore. And so, but she unblocked me. And I thought that, you know what? That kind of restored my faith a little bit in the whole thing and in creators. Maybe I should do the same thing with Tim Sheridan, confront him and stand up for myself there. And be like, hey, man, I thought what you did was wrong.
Okay, so Eric, you gave Birds of Prey another chance. How was the latest issue? What'd you reckon to it?
I haven't read issue 7 yet.
Okay.
It's on the stack of things to get to because it's a new direction, a new team. And but I did like the last arc a bit, the 1 through 6, the one with the the mission to Themyscira.
Okay, you enjoyed that, yeah? Yeah.
Pretty much. I thought issue 5 was a miss because there was an art change for that one issue, and then I kind of saw through it at the end because here you have big sister Dinah, Dinah the Black Canary looking out for her brand new little sister we just found out, kind of thing, Cynthia, and it was just this was Buffy season 5.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean. And I'm like, but that's just being a little, critical, just seeing your references. But overall, it wasn't bad. And I like the voices on Harley Quinn. I like the voice on Big Barda. I like, I like seeing Cassandra Cain, Batgirl. I liked it. It was okay. And I need to get to issue 7. I haven't read it yet. Block lists can be amusing. Sometimes I find myself blocked by people I've never interacted with. LOL. Exactly. And I don't stand for that. How am I? You're representing someone's product.
Well, that's happened to you and me as well, Eric, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how am I supposed to want to buy your product? You know what I mean? Buy your art, buy your story. Mr. Sheridan, I was in a conversation about the Green Lantern, and you blocked me anyway because you blocked us all. You put people on a list. That's morally. I'm opposed to that. I mean, who made this list? Why are you on this list? You know what I mean? You threw all the babies out with the bathwater? I mean, come on. And speaking in defense of that book, Cian Tormey is repping it up. He is looking great on that book. And issue 4 was probably the last issue of Alan Scott there, was probably the most entertaining and best issue in that series so far. Because I found the kind of relationship banter between them mid-fight to be very Buffy the Vampire Slayer as well, but in a positive way. There's Vlad and there's and Alan having these kind of moments and then getting back to a fight. It was all right.
Okay, Eric, speaking of positivity, can I get your thoughts on the last week in comics? Anything really stood out for you? I want to hear your thoughts, because to me it was a bit of it wasn't a great week. It was kind of mixed for me. I've only got 2 issues that really stood out, so I want to get your thoughts on that, if that's okay.
I didn't get to any. The only DC comic I read this week was Kneel Before Zod 3 of 12.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Eric,
that's just great.
The Batman First Night, I absolutely loved it.
Oh, yeah, and that's did you get a magazine of that?
I've just got digital, unfortunately, digital version, but it is so good. The art's great. I got some, most people loved it, but one comment was kind of criticizing it for the, in quotes, political angle, but I didn't even see that. It's set in 1939. It's the build to World War II, so it's going to talk about Hitler, Nazis, blah blah blah. That didn't bother me. It didn't take me out of the story. It just felt natural. But mate, the art is great, and it's Batman. It's Batman back to basics. He's making mistakes. He's new. He's raw. If you see his costume, you'd love it. He's got purple gloves.
Yeah, I like the purple gloves.
I love the purple gloves and his big boots.
It's like when Greg Capullo gave the cape a purple lining.
Did you read it, mate? I want to get your thoughts on it.
I didn't read the Batman yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm woefully behind on my DC comics this week. But
I'm behind on Marvel this week. Yeah.
I read all the Marvel ones this week, and so I get a better.
Okay, if you want to give shout out to Marvel comics that stood out for you this week.
Venom number 31 by Torrin Braun.
Really?
It was really good.
Okay.
I've been on the fence with Venom for
Me too. I kind of jumped in and out. Yeah.
But this is playing with Carnage. She's been doing Carnage. She had a new issue 1 of Carnage.
She has, yeah.
And I like that actually, because it's the art and it's pretty good. It's spooky. It's horror. It's gory. It's over the top. And that's what I say about this one as well, Venom 31. It is over the top, but it's got some really good sequential art, good superhero fights. It's basic stuff, and it's
okay. You've got a yip from Tevye there. Tevye agrees with you, mate.
Cool. Thank you. What else? There was What If Aliens 2024.
Okay, I didn't read that. I enjoyed last week's red. What was it called? Red, white, and black, or red, black, and blue. That surprised me because that was so much better than I expected. I enjoyed that.
I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, there was a little bit of a miss for me because I didn't like the inclusion of the green color, but that is the color of alien blood.
Yeah, that was a bit weird, but
Yeah, but I think they were putting it in nod.
I think 2 out of 3 stories for me were good. 2 out of 3.
Yeah, and one of them was a Stephanie Phillips story, by the way.
Yeah. Fair play.
Because we kind of like, I think we're a little hard on the girls sometimes.
No, Eric, me and you especially, we are open to anybody. Anyone can write a comic book. We want just good stories. It doesn't matter who writes it. So we're open to that, aren't we?
Here we are now, entertainers.
I love the way you took that to like a bit of karaoke there. That is awesome.
But what if Aliens was kind of a miss?
Was it? Okay, that's a shame.
There's Weapon X-Men #1, which is a multiverse team of different Logans, and they're doing that already over on Wolverine. There's it's called Sabretooth War, and Sabretooth has put together a multiverse team of Sabreteeth.
Oh, what a surprise. Well, that's been going on already, isn't it, in Wolverine? And Eric, I want to get your thoughts on the Spectacular Spider-Men, because this surprised me. I actually really enjoyed it. And maybe it was the is it Humberto Ramos? Ramos's art was excellent.
I love Humberto Ramos's Spider-Man. It's one of my top 5. And I got to tell him that last year.
Nice.
Yeah, he was at WickedCon. He's a great guy. I love talking to him. Spend a few minutes with him. He was like, really? I'm one of your favorite Spider-Man? I'm like, dude, I love it. I was even told him, like, hey, in Raimi's Spider-Man 3, when Venom is like just a blob, he looked just like yours. I loved it. He was like, oh, really? That's really interesting. Yeah, he's a nice guy. I love the art. I thought the dialogue was atrocious.
Really? Okay, yeah, I can see that. It was very kind of like,
It was annoying.
A little bit phoned in at times.
It was great art by Humberto Ramos, who knows how to draw a Spider-Man comic book, and just like, hey Brooklyn, hey Manhattan. It's your own code name, kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got you. But there wasn't a lot of good stuff out from Marvel, was there, last week? It wasn't that great, unfortunately.
Let's see. It's actually it's not a hit, but it's like it's okay, and it's Star Wars.
This is why you're here. I want to get your shout outs. Yeah, go for it.
Star Wars.
Oh, okay. Let me have a look. Yeah, is it good?
Republic Phase 3, issue number 4. I was ignorant of phases 1, 2, and 3. I mean 1 and 2. So I'm just walking into this, and it's just Jedi Knight stuff, and it's.
Oh, really? That sounds good.
I've been actually enjoying the High Republic stuff between this and Shadow of Starlight by Charles Soule, and Kevin Scott. They got a pretty decent writing squad over there on the High Republic stuff. So I think Star Wars fans, maybe we should be giving this a chance, because it's not bad, and it fits. Like Shadow of Starlight, the last issue was just like, they just gave us a Star Wars level big bad, because Star Wars level big bad is its own thing. Like, they like Disney muffed that up. Like, Hux was not a big bad. Snoke was not a big bad.
That's right.
Palpatine wasn't even a big bad. Pride wasn't a big bad. I mean, they were somewhat goofy, but Star Wars villains are often authentic. Man, it was good. So, then we're in Star Wars issue 44. You got Charles Soule. He's doing a good job. He's doing the yeoman's work, man. And it's
well, Eric, I dropped out that when was it the Dark Droids, like storyline. I was out. I'm sorry, so I've not read it for a long time.
Over. Oh God,
has it come back to the basics? Has it gone back to come back to what you know with Star Wars?
No, it's just post Dark Droid stuff. So now Lando's got to deal with the deals that he made during Dark Droids. That now he's going to be on trial for because he's literally he's being Lando Calrissian. He's selling rebellion secrets on the side,
Oh, wow!
So he's got to stand tall for that. Hey, there you are. Konnichiwa. And hello.
Can you vamp for like a couple of
Of
seconds?
course I can.
Thank you.
But yeah, Star Wars 44. It's just there's only so many stories that you can fit until the opening scroll of Return of the Jedi. And that's where all of this is it's leading. It's like they've painted themselves into a corner, or maybe this is just the end game of this volume of Star Wars. This is Marvel Star Wars Volume 2, and this is issue 44. Now they had the very ballyhooed and famous 1 million issue circulated, not sold. Issue 1 of Star Wars, Marvel Star Wars, that John Cassaday, Jason Aaron, John Cassaday, 2015. It was big. Remember that? Or have we memory hold that? We might have memory hold that. And now we have this Lucas story group canonical foolery with Luke with a yellow lightsaber. And yeah, this doesn't work for me, you know. Hello. Hold on. I'm not smoking anything. Who, me? I didn't open my window and blow smoke out my window. That was it. Was that me? No, really? Yeah, so Star Wars 44. It's good that I'm reading these. I'm very appreciative that I read a lot of comic books every week. We got Sensational She-Hulk #6 by Rainbow Rowell and Company. It's well, it's who's well, this is it's style. It's work. Its style is
I don't know. I've not been reading it, but I've heard like there are people who really like that series,
Mhm.
and there are also people like saying like, what is going on with this? It's like it's very kind of soap opera drama. What do you reckon,
Yeah.
Eric? You're enjoying it, yeah?
It's not terrible.
Okay.
But it's like it's not made for me, and I'm fine with that. With saying like this is clearly not
Sure.
made for me. Yeah, I mean, just like who is this made for? Just I hope whomever this is made for comes and gets it.
Yeah, me too.
Seriously, I mean, this will collect better. This will work better as a collection. But like the art, the art's it's decent, but it's all that digital flavor to it. It's like it's for me. Everything comes down to a food reference because I'm a professional chef. So it's kind of like putting it's like putting an artificial sweetener in stuff,
Yeah.
and now that's
Okay.
all you can taste. So it's more like I can
That's
taste
fair enough.
like NutraSweet, aspartame, like something like that. I can like literally taste it and be like, you didn't use sugar, you used an artificial sweetener in this. And
Eric, now I've got you here. Can I get you back to
Yes.
basics? Because I've always wanted to know: were you DC or Marvel originally, like from the start? Where are you coming from?
I gotta say, based upon the empirical evidence supported by my spinner rack,
Okay.
which is populated by old friends that I bought off of a spinner rack years past, and I don't have any of those original comics left. Do you have any of your original comics?
Oh, I wish I did. I've got my Hellblazer first, like say 90 issues, and Sandman. That's it. That's all I've got.
It's still wonderful.
Eric, I wish I still had my my Spider-Man and Daredevil and Ascenti from back in the day. I wish I had them. They're long gone.
I got all I have is my first that first printing of Watchmen.
Yeah, Whooper, the spinner rack. We miss the spinner rack, don't we, Eric? How much do we miss that? I miss that. Seeing that in the convenience store.
And but my spinner rack right now, it's mostly Marvel, and it shows. It's probably showing like I was more Marvel than DC at that as a young person, as a child.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because just the sheer volume of different Marvel titles I got out there.
I always wanted to know. I wasn't sure where you're coming from.
They're all between like 1980 and 1987 or so.
Right. I know.
So there's like a chunk of Teen Titans and Batman out there, sure, but then everything else is Spidey, X-Men.
Oh, really?
Rom the Space Knight.
Did you get into X-Men big time? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I never got there, Eric. I feel like I missed out on that. I never really got into it. I was huge on Spider-Man and Daredevil back in and his age, but for me it was always Batman. I don't know why. Batman just like won me over, and that was it. I was a big Bat fan.
In 1981, premiered the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends on Saturday mornings.
Okay.
And that was Firestar and Iceman. And
yes, you see, we didn't get that in the UK. You guys are so lucky.
And we had our first kind of animated X-Men adventure with that. There was a backdoor pilot that was made. And and that's the famous one with Wolverine with the Australian accent.
the original, the best Aussie accent.
Yeah.
Just shout out morning to Blair. Blair to Blair. Good morning, mate. Great to see you. Thanks for dropping in.
It's very Japanese here. I got all my, this is my brand new Macross shirt of me Valkyrie.
Oh my god, that is awesome! You got the katakana there, Makurosu. Awesome.
And I got me Toriyama hat. He's with oh, he's
turning
like one of my favorite
Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so.
No drugs, no wine, no women, no fun.
Eric, you got Blair saying that was a great cartoon. What you're just talking about? Great cartoon.
It was fun, and but that was like my first taste of the X-Men, and the X-Men around that time was probably, in the 150s, the 140s, the 150s or so.
Okay, yeah.
Issue 141 of that. That's when they adopted the uncanny adjective.
I so missed out on that. I'm so jealous.
141 and 142 were the first books I ever bought. Yes, I ever bought from behind. Those were my first wall comics, and I bought them when I was they were like $20 each. And I was, maybe about 12. And I remember the comic book shop. I remember everything. And I read the shit out of those. I had it wasn't about collectability or anything.
No, of course not. Me too. I had no idea about that. No concept of that. I just wanted stories, great stories and great art.
Over and over and over again.
That's what I wanted. And so Eric, who was writing X-Men back then when you started? Do you remember? Was it still Claremont? Yeah, Claremont. Yeah. Okay.
It was, and it was edited by Louise Jones, who would be Louise Simonson very shortly, and then she would give. She would give that over to Annie Nocenti. So, Louise Simonson and Annie Nocenti edited the X-Men, the entire run that I was reading, and I remember I came aboard monthly, buying it issue 170, and I stayed monthly until Fall of the Mutants. So there's a good 5-year chunk that every month.
That is a great chunk to be there.
And I got plenty of X-Men before 170. And 170, I think, was in 1983 or 4. And that's the one where Storm kills Calypso in the night fight.
Oh my god, really?
That's the Paul Smith art. Those 6 panels of just man, that was that's I love that issue. That's on my spinner rack too. There's a huge I'm a classic X-Men fan. Yeah,
I didn't know that, mate. I didn't know that. That's cool.
I love the X-Men.
The first time I got into it was because of Grant Morrison, because I love Animal Man and all that. So I got into his new X-Men run, but I didn't know the characters. I just didn't know them that well. I went maybe 10 issues and I dropped out.
What issue did you come on for Morrison's new X-Men?
His first one. What is it? 114? Yeah.
Okay, I was there for the first for the E is for Extinction.
I think
trade
the first 10.
I got that, and I got the 2001 annual. The one Lennel U and art, and it was side screen kind of. It was it was letterbox format, so every page was like a splash page or more, and you had to read it on its side. Remember that?
Can I get your thoughts on that? What did you think about Morrison's take? Because it is kind of controversial, not the right word, but it's very divisive. Maybe people like it or people hate it.
Sure, yeah, and the same was going on with Momoko right now. Indeed.
Yes.
You nailed it.
But
seriously.
After only one issue, she needs to be given a chance. Give her a chance to tell her story, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to see X-Men in uniform until probably issue 6.
You won't see them. Yeah, people say where are the X-Men? It's got to develop it. You got to develop it.
I know. I hate to sound like, Drax the Destroyer, but why are the X-Men? Exactly.
Why?
Why? Why is Gamora? Where is Gamora? But what kind of beer, eh?
Okay.
What are you drinking?
Come around, there you go.
I would join you, but
It's a Spring Valley After Dark. There we go.
Ooh,
I know, I'm sorry about that, folks. It's like, for me in Japan, it's late night. It's like 11 p.m. here. Eric, it's early morning. He's on the coffee. Good for him. That's the way it goes.
9:11 a.m. here in Boston, Massachusetts, United States of America. Here in our drive-in morning show.
And Eric, thanks again, mate, for joining me. I'm sorry, it was like last minute. I really appreciate it. We need to do this more. We always talk about it. Well, we should do some more comic book reviews together. You wanted to talk about X-Men. That's why I wanted to get your thoughts on. I enjoyed it, but maybe I'm biased because of the Japanese angle.
Well, yeah, because you have a good.
Is it too much Junji
Japanese...
Ito? Is it too much Japanese body horror and mythology?
No,
and not enough X-Men.
No. It's 100% Peach Momoko, of whom I have. I come at just independently because I've been admiring her work now, and it's good to be turned on to a new artist and that has got such a interesting interpretation and execution of her vision. I mean, some of her stuff beguiles me, and I like that.
Same. I like to be. Yeah, it's good to be surprised. It's good to be wow, what is going on here. Eric, we got a great comment here from the Introspect M, who says, I liked the new Ultimate X-Men. I think it will build into being more X-Men-like, but I enjoy the change of pace of an Ultimate book.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a mystery to unbox right now, and we keep saying it's issue 1.
Yes, you got to give it time to build up.
There are a couple of ways to nail an issue number 1. Especially when it's written for the trade. I think Teenie Howard did a wonderful job on part 1 of her current 9 Lives arc she's doing on Catwoman now.
Okay.
I'm really liking Teenie Howard's Catwoman right now.
Yeah.
I like the art as well. Francesco Raffal, he's an Italian guy. There's the cultural thing, too. He knows how to draw beautiful women in that Milo Manara. Another.
But Eric,
Italian...
I'm sorry to say, one thing I got to say, I don't like written for the trade. Just got to say that right here.
Exactly. But that is the publication industry. That's their paradigm.
That's the way it's being pushed these days. Yeah.
That's exactly it. And but I felt like that her part 1 of that issue. I think it was Catwoman 32 or something. It was right after Gotham War. It was an excellent issue 1 of this arc.
So
story.
much better than the Gotham War version. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I read it. I agree.
I like the purple costume too.
The purples. Come on. She looks sexy as fuck. She looks great.
I'm done with the bondage thing. That is just so, you know what I mean? Just
I know.
Put her back in purple.
It's old. It's tired. It's
give me the
I want to see classic Catwoman costume.
Yeah, I mean that purple just really works for me, and the Rafali line work too. I was just like, wow, they're not afraid to show cheeks. This is written by a woman. This is edited by a woman. Katie Kubert is now the group editor of the Bat Family. So you have that. You already have those lenses to put through, those gates to be kept. And we're still getting butt cheeks. That's good.
I don't care what people say, Eric. Sex sells. That's it. Yes. Simple as that. Come on.
Because it's fiction. People don't look like this in real life. That's why it's fiction.
Yes. It's a story. It's meant to be make-believe. It's meant to be exaggerated.
I want to see body positive. Go to the bloody mall.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted, you want to see the fantastic and unrealistic? Open a comic book, good fiction. There you go. Bloody hell.
So, Eric, what do you think? Going back to Ultimate X-Men, will she be given the time to tell the story she wants to tell? I've heard rumors she's limited to she's got 10 issues planned and that's it. She's out. Just 10. But please give her that time to tell the story.
Yeah, let's see where it goes. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Sure,
I'm up for it.
That means there's a story to be told. There's an act structure here. That means
it's going. She has a plan. It's planned out.
one thing I hate about, I don't hate anything really, no, that like it's just part of our culture that people will hop on something very early, and I'm like, this could be set up to pay off.
Yes.
Remember, this is a
Yes.
story being told. Someone's crafting a story. I mean, just think of it like, what if you're in Act One shaking your fist? Well, that's kind of cool because that means you're engaged.
Yes. You've got a reaction. It's provoked a reaction to you. But you can't dismiss something just from one issue in comics. Come on. At least give it 3. You got to give it at least 3 issues. Come on.
Sure. Sometimes something can be just off. I
Yeah.
can,
Yeah.
like let's see, what was it? Smallville, Fire and Ice. Welcome to Smallville, issue number 1. It was a 6-issue mini, and from off the first issue, I mean, it's just like, no, this is not my kind of book. Wasn't even made for me. So I'm not gonna punch down on something that wasn't made for me. So
you are very fair. A very fair man.
there's plenty of those voices out there, and I think the secret is to find things to say about it that are good. Like I can say a few good things about Smallville. Welcome to Smallville, Fire and Ice. The cover art by the Dodsons was amazing. The colors that they used inside the book were popping. Everything didn't turn into a morass of modern purple. You had really bright greens, especially on Fire's outfit, and at least you kept your art team through all 6 issues.
Come on, Eric. I think you're reaching, mate. The art was good. The art was decent, but the story. I'm sorry, the story.
Yeah, it's Drek.
It was awful. It was bad.
Man.
I'm sorry that. Maybe because it is an inexperienced kind of comic book writer. Maybe.
No, this person was hired to. This is for the collection, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes I say something like it sounds more negative than I intend. This is probably the most negative thing I have to say about comic books.
Okay.
Is that we pretend that serials matter, that floppies matter. They matter to me. They matter to you.
Me too.
And people
yes,
out
they
there.
do.
And
I love the floppy format.
The floppy format. I love it. I love the ads. I love the paper, the weight of it.
Yes, everything about it.
Read it in bed. You know what I mean? It's not a big, heavy book with a spine. They're very portable.
And floppies we love, we will go back to and reread. Yes. Won't we? Many times. I love that experience.
Even the crowdfunding stuff. They can't even say that. They're not doing floppies. They're doing trade paperbacks.
Yeah, they are.
And but we have this illusion of the serialized print publication and the illusion of marketplace, and it's having things available on the shelf. Fire and Ice, Welcome to Smallville could and should have been published as a collection, as a YA, maybe like. I got an issue of a two. Hold on, I got this issue last month of Scooby-Doo Batman. It's $2.99. I got this.
I know.
I wanted to see the advertising.
It's the only $2.99 book from DC. How was it, Eric? Was it good? Was it fun?
It's 100. There are no ads from cover to cover.
Oh, seriously? No way.
No ads. Exactly.
No way.
And but all the ads for it are for YA graphic novel.
Yeah. You see that a lot these days.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's what. But so this is marketing is doing their job. They know who to focus their advertisements at in this particular, print publication. You know what I mean? So, but that's like, who is this made for, and why? I mean, like this is made to maybe sell ad copy.
Yeah.
And Fire and Ice wasn't. And so, why pretend that these floppies matter? What just publish your story, like in the collected format. It was already done. She was already paid, and that was that. These creators aren't like if they surpass their publication goals and it goes into a second printing, now that's where they can make their money. But these people have been hired and paid already, so. The success of this book is, superfluous. They can only get bonus if it succeeds.
Okay, Eric, I have a question for you from the Netta. Great, and great to see you, mate. Thank you so much for coming back and retuning in. He's asking did the maker, from Ultimate Universe, did he prevent X-Men from forming or becoming whatever. Because we got like he prevented like Spider-Man from becoming Spider-Man when he was younger. Did he prevent X-Men? Well, it's not clear, is it? What happens to the X-Men?
It has the. I'll read the copy page, your info dump page.
Yeah.
A diabolical genius known as the Maker used time travel to create his ideal Earth by systematically preventing anyone from ever becoming a superhero and establishing a secret council of supervillains that rules this world from the shadows. But recently, the Maker was locked away in a place called the City, and now the Maker's Council works to further exercise their influence on the world, including Sunfire, Viper, and Silver Samurai, who oversee the eastern territory of Hi no Kuni, the land of the sun.
Yeah.
There, a young girl named Hisako Ichi is about to find her life changed.
Thank you for that. That was an awesome reading. Thank you.
Very much. I'm working on that. I'm working on my voice. Sometimes I think I talk in a very high register, and I should
that sounded good to me.
Talking in a more professional.
Oh my God! Just got very sexy.
The ASMR vibes, and to maybe even sell myself to a woman with not talking like me.
Me too. So it is addressed in the issue 1. As you said, it is addressed. It's like there. It's like okay. It's not clear though. Did they, did the Maker prevent the X-Men from becoming X-Men? That is not even clear.
I love this opening, man. It's March, and you see the cherry blossom.
Yes. It's so Japanese, it's so traditional. It's like the end of the year and the beginning of the year, the school thing.
Yeah, and I'm so grateful that for the last couple of pages had a primer on these little cultural things. The charms, the second button, the shit like that. And I'm like, I like that kind of.
That's massive over here, Eric.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is culture, and this is this is informative, and this is bridging, and I just love the art style, and it's so restrained for her too, because she can go all over the place.
Because I've read a lot of criticism for her art style. People don't seem to like it. They say, "Oh, it's too cute. It's too like manga. Blah blah blah." That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, but this is, I think, how can we bridge the manga fans and the Marvel fans? I mean, hey, Purple Valkyrie!
Great to see you, Purple! How you doing, darling? That's awesome.
Hello,
let me drop a clip for Purple. What is it? What's a good... Here we go.
You're fond of me lobster, ain't you?
Drunken in a Virginia fence.
I seen it. You're fond of me lobster.
Eric, please tell me what drunken than a Virginia fence means.
Drunker than a Virginia fence? Maybe
because that's in that movie Lighthouse. That's the Robert Pattinson's reply to "You're fond of your lobster, aren't you?" I'm drunker than a Virginia fence. No idea what that means.
It could.
But I love it.
Depends what kind of context we're using fence in. If it's a physical fence,
okay,
such as like a picket fence to protect your property, or a fence as in a person who is someone that moves illegal items.
Yes, I think that's the way. Eric, have you seen The Lighthouse? It's a crazy movie. It's mad. I love it.
I have to catch up on my Eggers stuff, man.
You've got to be in the right mood to watch it. Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, exactly. Robert Eggers. You got to be in the right mood to watch it.
I want to catch his Nosferatu this year because I love.
Oh, me too. I can't wait for that.
Movies. It's coming out on Christmas though, so you have to wait all year for
Purple Valkyrie. If you like read, if you've seen that movie, please let us know in the chat. A question from the netter: can the Maker fix Universe 616?
No, wow. He can only break it. He can only destroy it. He can only It's ironic because the Maker doesn't make.
It is ironic.
Great things. And I like that. I like that. Reed Richards is one of my favorite bad guys.
Yes.
I love this version.
It's a Maker. It's a great version of him, isn't it, Eric?
Don't forget how ruthless he is. In 1986, at the end of Secret Wars 2, Reed Richards saves the universe. And it's no one talks about this.
Oh yeah.
But it's what happens was the Beyonder comes to Earth, and the Beyonder wants to experience being human. And so Reed convinces the Beyonder, well, you have an error in your judgment here. What you really need to do is revert yourself to infancy, grow up as a human, and have the full experience of life. And Beyonder does that, goes back to being a baby, and Reed snuffs the infant's life.
Okay.
His weakest spot.
Oh my
His
God.
weakest is the Beyonder can't help himself. I mean, he's completely, he's made himself vulnerable. And,
For sure.
and
Yeah.
Reed took care of that threat. And that's like that is who Reed Richards is. That's how smart he is and how ruthless he can be. I like that. And that was just, people don't talk about that. Yeah. That's a really good way to put it.
Great comments in the chat. I've just got to say that the chat, you guys and girls out there, fantastic comments. Thank you so much.
The maker was a simp. Rejected.
Wow.
Indeed.
Thanks, Blair. You take it easy. Good night to you. Oh, sorry. Good morning to you. Have a good day.
Indeed.
Eric, big fan of Robert Eggers. Big fan. Do you have a favorite movie by him?
I'm blessed and grateful that I'm getting into some more of these modern directors. Ari
me too.
Aster. I have yet to see a Eggers film, but I only started watching Ari Aster movies, and Olivia Wilde's pretty good too. If you haven't seen Smart for 2019 teen sex rom comedy, it passes the baton of the teen sex rom comedy, the last night of high school.
Yeah.
And the two brainy friends go out to their party because they never go out, and there's so that's a house party. That's like it's been going on since the 60s and 70s in movies, So yeah, she's pretty good. So I'm looking forward to seeing. He did Bone Hot Tomahawk, right?
I think. Oh, did he? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to see that. And he did the Norseman.
Yes.
Yeah,
that he did.
That's the one I'll probably end up
Tomahawk
watching.
From what I've heard, it's a very hard movie to watch. But Norseman was great. I love the lighthouse. It's crazy. It's weird. It's it's very freaky. But I so want to see his Nosferatu. It could be amazing, Eric, but it could also be like a two. What's the word? It could be bad as well. I'm worried about it. I hope he gets the balance right. Not to like drive the the normie away, whatever.
Nosferatu itself is an interesting thing because it's a Dracula story, but it was changed to avoid copyright strikes.
Yeah.
Back then, and
even back then it was changed. Yeah, was it? No way.
And it was different from it has different story notes, a different ending, and there is a relationship between
there is, and I'm sure you know this already, but the German actor who plays Nosferatu the vampire, his name is Max Schreck, and in German Schreck means fear. How crazy is that? Is that a coincidence or what? Is that deliberate?
It's a stage name.
Fear.
Indeed. Have you been reading Captain America?
No, I've not. Do you recommend it?
No, I wouldn't. It's J. Michael Straczynski's writing it.
Yeah, I read the first 3 issues and I just dropped out. I'm sorry. I just I wasn't sure.
I've read all 7 so far, and it's kind of big miss, See, Doctor Strange is pretty good this week.
Is it?
Pascal
The cover
Craig,
is absolutely bloody awesome.
It's
The Alex Ross cover, it's amazing. Does the content match the cover? That's a question.
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty much,
I'll give that a read.
Thank
you, Eric.
Flighty. Jed McKay's been doing he's been doing solid bullpen work. His Avengers wasn't. We can make. There are so many. It's easy to poke the holes.
Yeah, it is.
In McKay's Avengers, in Doctor Strange, but you don't have to. I mean, it could be just a flighty superhero story, and we can just enjoy it if we let our guard down. We can enjoy this stuff a lot better if we let our guard down and maybe just got over this kind of one of the worst things I always hear is that just laughs in the face of physics or dude, it's a It's a fiction.
It's a story. It's a comic book story. What are you talking about?
Oh,
okay, Eric, I'm going to wrap things up soon. So before we finish up, please shout out whatever you want to shout out. Let people know where you can find you. What have you got coming up?
Well,
Go for it.
I am Eric O'Sullivan. I make content, Reverend Sully, here on the internet. We talk about comic books. Oh, shucks, you're going to make me blush. But I love these conversations we have.
He's more positive than me, and I'm supposed to be very positive.
I can be wicked negative. I can be so...
No, I don't believe it.
Oh, I have a shadow. You know, yeah, we all do, though.
Who doesn't, mate? Who doesn't?
Exactly. Live in the light, you always have a shadow. And you can find me here at YouTube and under my own name, Eric O'Sullivan. And we make content. I talk about spirituality and gratitude. I'm a professional chef. We talk about cooking a lot. And that's why they call me the Sultan of Soup. And a big shout out to Wes of Thinking Critical. His show starts in 30 minutes. And so you get a good old-fashioned chat raid going on. And just say, hey, tell him Wakizashi's Teahouse sent me. And you might get 50% off at the door.
Oh, thanks, Purple. Purple shared it as well. Purple Valkyrie sharing this channel. Come on. If you're not subscribed to Eric O'Sullivan, what are you doing? That's all I can say.
I've been doing a new morning show called the MGTOW Morning Review Show. MGTOW is I'm making fun of it, but it's men going their own way. And it's about being single.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah. And but it's also taking the piss out of it too.
Yes,
you know, with a little.
That's what I love about Eric.
Yes,
that's what I love about you. You know, we can take the piss of each other. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and it's just it's because sometimes we get full of it, and you had to come out.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, seeing Purple Valkyrie. I miss you.
Thank you, Purple. You're awesome.
I mean, that's someone I miss. Yeah, I would love to see more of is you.
Me too. Get back on YouTube, Purple. I know you're busy. I know you've got things going on, but I'd love to see you and hear you back on YouTube.
Purple, if you're reading this Ultimate stuff, I wonder how you feel about
I'd love to hear that.
Not the maker, but the new Ultimate Reed Richards, who has the outward appearance of Doom. I mean, there's a conversation there. I want to talk more about...
I tell you what, Eric, I know she's been enjoying the new Conan run and also the Fire and Ice, the not the DC
the
one,
real one.
the Dynamite, based on the old animation, the animated movie. She's enjoying that, so I'd love to get her thoughts and yours on those. That'd be cool in the future.
And sweat and swords and blood.
Exactly.
You know what? We'll wrap this up by saying I was watching Krull last night.
Oh my God! Really?
Fucking A, dude.
I used to love that movie when I was a kid.
God, it's so nostalgic.
I loved it back in the day.
Age is out there.
I know it's flawed, but there's something about it in there.
I'm like Freddie Jones. Oh my God!
Come on, man.
It's just like all these British actors that Liam Neeson. He's like 22 years old.
It's like we see him in Excalibur. He's so young in that.
It's like everyone just walked off the Excalibur set and walked on the Krull.
He went to a Krull.
And then
I love it.
The horses and the outdoor photography and the mountains and shit. And it's like Highlander had this same European flavor of visual of movie making. I love British movies. But yeah,
I know. Introspective. I know, mate. It is annoying. It's delayed. It was so delayed, for issue 1 and 2. Even it's crazy. But but it's good.
Going back
Eric,
to what I was
did you read the? Is it the Tigra? The Tigra single issue?
I didn't read that one. I read the first issue though. I thought it was really good. But
right.
But this is the illusion of market share and of the illusion of the flaw.
Yeah.
When this could just be released as a collection already. I mean, you're skipping a step perhaps, but I mean, we have to perpetuate the marketplace and the industry.
We do.
So, yeah. So what else are you going to do? Not publish a floppy? That lets down the publisher, the printer, the stores, the customer. You know what I mean? What to do?
Well, listen, Eric, thank you so much again. I'm sorry for being drunk, blah blah blah, but I got to head to bed soon. So great to have you on. Great to see you. Let's do this again. Not when I'm drunk, Let's do a proper serious stream. Talking about comics.
Oh, maybe I can just have I can clear my schedule and catch up with you. I can have James.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd love to do it and get your thoughts on what's coming out.
Well, cool. And good to see everyone out there. Thank you so very much. And I will see you later.
Okay. Good night. Matane.